Hello everyone, this is Hana speaking. So, what am I doing here with Fire Emblem Heroes today, you might ask? Well, that's because recently, when I've been recording my new Mahjong videos, the M1 League Challenge, I've been talking a little bit about my all-flying team, which I put together back during Legendary Ryoma's banner, and talk is cheap, right? I thought it might be fun to show them in action a little bit. So, we're going to see how they perform in the recently added battle against legendary hero Hector on Infernal. Let's introduce the team, first of all, starting with the man himself.
I understand.
Legendary Ryoma. His role on the team is an all-rounder. He's powerful enough to nuke some stuff and bulky enough to tank some stuff, especially green units. He barely needs any skill inheritance either. He's just about fully functional straight out of the box. Reijinto gives him distant counter, Glimmer has a low cooldown to complement his unique B skill Bushido, which deals an extra 10 damage when his special triggers, and as far as tanking is concerned, Kestrel Stance gives him a combat boost if he gets attacked, so that's fun. His natural C skill is Guidance, which only works on infantry and armored units. Doesn't help an all-flying team, but Goad Flyers certainly does. It's not hard to get either. 4-star Pala has it. This team is all about the synergy. They have Goad Flyers, Hone Flyers, Fortify Flyers, they have combat boosts for days, and everyone boosts everybody somehow. It's nuts. I run the Iote's Shield seal on Ryoma to help deal with those pesky archers, but that doesn't come into play on this map. Swap either, but it's there in case we need the added mobility. This team has terrific mobility, too. They can outmaneuver damn near anything. Next up is Fel Robin.
Choose.
Girl Fel Robin. I was very happy to pull her. She can be a monster if you don't have the right tools to deal with her. Her role in this team is a tank, particularly a ranged tank, and she comes prepared for the job with Expiration and Dragon Skin. Expiration gives her distant counter, and, like a lot of breath weapons, targets ranged enemies' weakest defense stat. And Dragon Skin. Not only does it prevent her from taking bonus damage due to her flying type, it buffs her defense and resistance if she gets attacked. Bonfire is her natural special, a decent one for a tank. She's the one I ended up giving Fortify Flyers to share some of that bulk with the rest of the team. That is also not hard to get. You can find it on 4-star Sita. Her seal is just a plus resistance I had lying around to help her tank magic better. Her B skill is currently Renewal 2, which was actually a leftover from teaching her drawback with Faye. Both turned out to be instrumental in my solution to Infernal Legendary Ryoma, but they don't come into play here. One of these days I should get around to teaching her a better B skill. Maybe Vantage would be good for her, or of course Quick Riposte, the go-to B skill for any tank. Actually, that's Vengeful Fighter, but that's rare and expensive, and I don't have it yet. Moving on to Asura. My invaluable flying singer. I was fortunate enough to pull her with my very last summon before I ran out of orbs in that banner. Her job is of course to give extra turns and to buff the rest of the team with Hone Flyers, which she comes with naturally. Her weapon, Hagoita, also helpfully provides more combat boosts to defense and resistance within 2 spaces. And as if all that weren't enough, thanks to her blisteringly fast speed and decent other stats all around, she can reliably tank blue units and even the occasional green unit if she needs to. Speaking of which, for a while I wasn't running her with a special at all, but I had to teach her Glimmer for this map because there's a point where I need her to tank and one round a blue enemy, and that was the only way to get her damage over the top. Her natural B skill is Earth Dance, but the defense buff is kind of redundant on this team, so I run her with Wings of Mercy instead, a fantastic B skill for any singer. The rest of her equipment just gives her some extra stats. Her weapon can be refined. I went for the plus speed option to make her even more blisteringly fast than she already is. Last up is Hinoka.
Time to fly!
Hinoka is my nuke. She may not seem all that up to the task stat-wise at first, but when all those buffs start flying around, combined with her own skill set, she gets very powerful very fast. Her bow is a godsend that does bonus damage to flying units and armored units, increases her own speed, and gives the rest of the team yet another combat boost. There's also her phenomenal A skill, Attack Speed Bond, which gives her a massive combat boost as long as she's next to an ally. What I want to draw attention to, though, is that she comes with both Flyer Formation and Flyer Guidance, naturally. This is what convinced me I could make an all-flying team work when I first saw it. These two skills insanely increase the mobility of the entire team, because if she's 2 spaces from an ally, she can effectively move 3 spaces in 1 turn to join them. And the same goes for any ally 2 spaces from her. It's easy to underestimate just how powerful this combination is, you know. Fire Emblem Heroes is designed to be fairly balanced for what its unit types and movement ranges are, and the ability to so utterly break the movement rules like this is downright dangerous. Hopefully you'll get to see a little bit of that in action today. I put Reposition on her to further break the team's mobility. Reposition combos extremely well with singers, as you'll see. I like the Quick Impulse seal on her, always great for getting off a quick nuke at the start of the map. Accordingly, I would normally run a cooldown 2 special like Glimmer on her, but that actually throws off my timing for this map because I need her special to go off at a very specific moment, so I reverted her to her natural special, Luna. I love this team so much. They have such great synergy together. Alright, time to start the battle. Let's talk strategy first. Hector may be tough, but he's a green unit, so he's no match for Ryoma. Our ultimate goal will be to let him just fall on Ryoma's sword, basically. Our problem is pulling that off without Ryoma getting eaten alive by the rest of the team. His problem is that he's slow and has no mobility options, so he's just going to be plodding along while we pick apart the rest of his team one by one. The first enemy I want to draw attention to is this Sword Flyer right here. She has even Speed Wave, which can really mess you up if your timing is bad and you're not expecting it, when you suddenly find you can't double something you need to. So she's got to be the first to go. So I am going to position my army just outside of their attacking range. They won't charge you until you make the first move.
I got this. Of course.
On my blade.
Yes.
And now this is what I was talking about earlier, how well Reposition combos with singing, because if you're right outside the enemy's range like this, and you're within sniping distance, then you can just go snipe, sing, Reposition, and suddenly nobody's left in the enemy's range for the next turn.
Time
Watch.
to fly. I got this.
And now Hinoka's special is charged as well. That'll be handy for later. To close out, I'm going to move the rest of my army to the left
I understand.
to lure Hector's army to the left, because next turn we will be escaping to the right. So we're a little bit strapped for safe spots right now.
Yes.
Robin can go here, Ryoma can go here, but now where does Hinoka go? Well, she has flyer formation, so she can cheat and move 3 spaces to get down here next to Ryoma. Just a small example of how powerful her movement abilities are. And speaking of Asura being able to tank blue units, there happens to be a Lance Flyer right here, and he, or she rather, is the only one in range to attack this square to the right of Ryoma. Nobody else is in range, so Asura will be able to safely tank her this turn. No match. Now, our main problem this turn is dealing with this Sword Cavalier right here. Hinoka has her special charged, but even with attack speed bond, she can't quite run one round this guy right away. And that's going to be a problem because he has Vantage, so anything else we could throw at him would just be torn apart pretty quick. And especially with his sky-high attack, Wo Dao, and Glimmer, I don't think anyone could actually bring him down from 2 HP to 0. So what can we do? Well, Ryoma still has Goad Flyers, so if we just put him over here,
Time to fly.
suddenly Hinoka can magically take care of him. Now, to start preparing for the next turn. There are a couple of units that we can tank. There's a blue unit right here, which Asura will be happy to take care of. He's the only one in range of this square. And the square to the left of Asura now there, this green Cavalier is the only one in range of that. So, our
Who dies first?
tanky dragon Robin will take care of him. Now Robin's special is charged. So, we spawned this Axe Cavalier right here. Ryoma can one-round him, but he's going to lose a lot of HP in the process, and we want him to keep as much of his HP as he can for dealing with Hector. So we're going to get Hinoka to soften this guy up a bit first.
On my blade.
And that's fine. Now we will get Hinoka out of the way.
I got this.
And this sword fighter. You might not think that Robin is able to do a lot of tanking in her current condition, but she's made of sterner stuff.
Yes.
Watch this. And now,
Choose.
proving Expiration's prowess against ranged fighters, Robin can actually nuke both of these units this turn.
Who dies first?
With Asura's help, of course.
Yes.
The speed boost from Hone Flyers. And there's an armored unit in the bottom right that's going to spawn, so we'll avail Hinoka of Hone Flyers next. Ryoma is not ready to tank Hector just yet. We want him to be all boosted up with Hone Flyers and Fortify Flyers first. There's the armored unit.
Got him in my sights.
1, 2. And we will put
Best
Asura
wishes.
here,
On
and
my
Ryoma
blade.
here, and Robin here, and now he will be buffed and all ready to take on Hector next turn.
I understand.
And lastly, this green Manakete has spawned over here. He does not have distant counter, so Hinoka will be able to deal with him easily.
I got this.
And just one more move from Ryoma will do it. So, that's it. That is my beloved all-flying team in action. I hope this video was informative. If you have any feedback on my team, I'd like to hear it, and let me know if you'd like to see them take apart any other Infernal Grand Hero battles. There are some that I haven't figured out yet, and don't know if I ever will, but they can handle a surprising amount. See you next time!